How's your summer going? I'm Vanessa
And I'm Jessica.
with Ellie and Mac. Today we're going to talk about all the updates with Ellie and Mac and
All the sneak peeks, things that are coming soon.
oh, we are so excited. Let's get started. So many updates with Ellie and Mac right now. I'm like really excited about all the new patterns that are coming. But I think we need to address the elephant in the room. And some of you guys have already noticed probably that Diana is off doing camp this summer, just like last summer. So you're going to probably see more of us.
Yeah.
But just know that we absolutely miss Diana.
Yeah.
And she misses you guys too. So
I think so.
But don't worry, she will be back. She just takes the summer off she works with kids and she does summer camps. And so we're very excited for her. She's having a great time, but she just doesn't have too much time to sew during the summer.
Yeah. And I think, the summer camp thing, doesn't it seem like Diana would be like so amazing with kids? Like she's so fun.
She is amazing.
She's probably the best camp whatever. I don't know if she's a counselor, what her
camp director
you could ever have.
Yeah, she's amazing, and she sends us pictures with her campers, and it's just so cute and all the fun activities. So we're excited for her, and where she lives is like so amazing, and so to actually have kids there and be able to have fun, I think she's ready for it.
Yeah.
So
she'll be back in a few months probably.
Yeah, it doesn't take too long. I think
summer.
by the end of August she's usually back.
Yeah.
The main season, you just gotta bear with us through June and July. Yeah. But just know we're trying our hardest.
We're doing our best.
So just know though that we do miss her, and you don't have to worry. She will be back.
Yep.
I think that's like always stressful. Last summer, oh my goodness, I was so stressed about it because in the comments they're like, "Where's Diana? I miss Diana." I'm like, "I'm sorry."
This time we're telling you.
Yeah,
where
we're
she
telling.
is.
Yes. And we asked her to do little videos. We're hoping that we can put a video in here, or we'll put a video in some later videos of her letting you know what she's up to. But
yeah.
That's what she's up to.
Yeah.
So I want to kind of talk about, just to start off, because we have some patterns we're going to sneak peek, but I want to kind of talk about what goes into making Ellie and Mac patterns, because I feel like sometimes, especially with this world of fast patterns, I mean, like you go on Etsy and there's some really cheap patterns for like $1, $2. And it's tempting, especially when you're new to sewing and you're trying to get that pattern catalog going.
Yeah, you have to have enough to like fill out your wardrobe.
You do.
Or whatever you're making.
But, I want to kind of talk about like why it's so good to like go with a pattern company that, like Ellie and Mac, and like what we actually offer behind the scene, because it's not just the cost of the pattern. I feel like sometimes people think, oh, it's just, they just invest in that, those lines.
Yeah.
Just the pattern.
That's got to be super easy.
So easy.
And fast. But it's probably, well, I don't know, if you have some background in pattern design or you understand like what goes, you might already know. But if you don't, let's chat about what actually.
So, what's so cool is that I see Lindsay investing not only in the lines, the pattern, but she equally invests in the instructions as well as the testing and the tutorials. So, if you were to look at it in like a financial way, it's equal slices of the pie. And I think that that's what sometimes gets missed in some of these like cheaper patterns.
Absolutely.
Is what are those other pieces of the pie, and why are they important? And so first off, with the instructions, we have gotten, when we first started sewing, because we started sewing together, we've gotten a lot of free patterns.
Yeah.
And I know Diana does a ton of free patterns. And sometimes the instructions are not there. Like, a year or two ago, we made jackets with Diana, and it was a free pattern. And the instructions
there was a lot of missing steps.
There was a lot of missing. There was like 5 instructions on how to make a zip jacket, and there was a lot of us going back and forth negotiating on. I remember the band. Like when all 3 of us did the band different ways.
Yeah,
because
I didn't really describe it.
There was no description.
There's no pictures. It was just words.
Yeah, just like a little like blurb, like, and it was just like, there was a lot missing.
Yeah.
And even the 3 of us who are really, used to doing sewing and stuff, there was times where we were like doing Marco Polo going, okay, wait, what?
Would you do this first or that first?
Yeah, and that order of operations. And I talk a lot about that when I'm doing my videos is because, a lot of times when I'm going to do a hack, I look over the instructions in its entirety and then I take a day to think about, okay, how does the order of operations change? Like, I don't know if it's probably be posted before this video, but I did this mesh overlay of the Lakeisha. Oh. And it completely changed the order of operations. But I had the regular.
I want to see that because that sounds really cute.
Oh my gosh. It turned out beautifully.
Is it in this room?
It's not in this room.
Okay.
It's upstairs in my closet.
Dang it.
I'll have to show you some more pictures of it. But it was beautiful. But it changed the complete order of operations. And so those instructions are important. And then we've also had instructions where they're drawn. And you think that the drawn instructions,
like the graphic,
yeah, and you're like,
that must like a tissue pattern.
Yeah, you think, well, that must have cost more to get each picture, drawn in. It's not helpful.
It can be really confusing to see those and not what I know. Yeah. I've heard some people say, "Oh, I really like the graphics. But I really prefer the pictures as long as they're well lit and everything because you can usually tell more what's going on."
Yeah, I cannot seem to tell what's going on. Like I can kind of tell it's the graphics, but I like the pictures because I can go, okay, here's my fabric. Does it look like their fabric?
Yeah.
And that's helpful. Like I like having those really nice pictures to go along with it.
Yeah.
And then, sometimes our instructions are like, I don't know, 20, 30 pages.
Yeah. Sometimes. Well, it's nice because it's all digital.
Yes.
And I will say this. So I talked to my mom about this and she has a clothing and textiles design degree.
Yes.
And we talked about like the instructions. She's like, I'm not used to the step by step by step. I'm used to like the old style where it was just very basic and you have those graphic lines. And the whole point of saying that is that back in the day, everything had to be printed. And it was expensive and it had to fit into the envelope. And so they really couldn't be as detailed because there wasn't enough money or space.
And that makes sense because if you accidentally print the whole packet, you got a book.
Yeah, which some people do, and that's cool if you want to print it. But we can do it digitally now, so it makes it
completely digital with the projector too. And so it's really nice. Like my husband doesn't know how much I'm hoarding. I have this whole secret hoarding personality that he has no clue about because it's all digital.
That's so funny.
So, like that's really nice. But yeah, I like the step by step because like I feel like that's like your sewing lesson.
Yeah.
People are always like, do you teach sewing lessons? Like all the time. I'm like, I don't need to teach sewing lessons.
Just follow the pattern.
And if you were like starting at the beginning, Ellie and Mac has a great program for it. And only $30, right now.
If you need to know how to use your sewing machine and the fabric types, I'm trying to remember what else is all included in there. How to thread, measuring, basic grading between sizes, right? You go over that. Then there's an awesome course and you should check that out. But if you're beyond that, then downloading patterns is
the way to go. Like, if you went to that junior high class, do they still do home ec?
I think so.
I think they do so I did teach a sewing lesson with my daughter and her friend. And she had a sewing unit. I don't know if it was in home ec, but it was like 1 week and they made a pillowcase. But there you learn how to thread your machine. And from there, you probably could just pick up an Ellie and Mac pattern and go step by step by step.
But if you did that in like 6th or 7th grade and then you waited 15 years, you probably wouldn't remember. I made a pair of like boxer shorts pajamas.
I made pajamas too.
And I still have them. And I was looking at them recently going, I don't even remember like making these. Like I know that I made them, but like that's kind of wild. Like you forget a lot from that point.
I remember making them. I don't have them. I remember the fabric and everything, but So like I think that those instructions, the step by step, it's like a lesson and it's teaching you how to do difficult things really fast.
Yeah.
And the language is not one where you're like, wait, what does that mean? Let me go look at the dictionary part, because there's usually a dictionary part because they use
terms.
Yeah, the terms. And so you have to kind of flip back when you're beginning, because I tried to do some tissue patterns right when we started, because I'm like, well, this is the way you're supposed to do it. I'm like, oh no. So
this is so confusing.
So equally investing in the instructions, and then here's the testing. And our testers are just amazing. If you are a tester for Ellie Mac and you're watching this, we just want to thank you so much. They work so hard and so diligently. And what's amazing about it is that, like, we're not just like testing. I've been in like other testing groups where they're like, okay, well, this is this block, and we're only going to test this little piece of it. They test the whole thing.
Yep.
And a lot of times they test it multiple times to make sure it's right. And I sometimes there's different sizing that happens in RTW. You have the junior sizing that's more for teenagers, and then you have the women's sizing that usually starts at like size 6, and there's all these different categories of sizing. Whereas I like that with Ellie and Mac that we're testing it on all of those different sizes.
Yeah.
And so, regardless of your size, you're going to fit into the Ellie Mac pattern. And they're going to make sure it looks good. Like, Lindsay's like adamant about that. It needs to look good on every single size, or you won't see that pattern.
Yeah. Things have been scrapped if she doesn't think that it's going to work well for everybody.
Yeah, for literally everybody, she will just go, nope. And so I really appreciate that. And that is something that's just, and the testers, they give feedback, and then the feedback is really looked into, and really I've been in a situation where we were doing this scene. I was like, I think I have an easier way. I've seen an easier way, and I explain the easier way, and then they come back to like, okay, we have an easier way that's going to make it better.
Yeah.
And it works great.
Yeah. So changing the instructions based on the difficulty to actually make that step, because sometimes there's a lot more ways than one to do something.
Yes.
And if that's like, if it's causing problems with the pattern, or it's, it's taking a lot more time or something like that, then like, let's make it work better.
Yes.
And that's, absolutely.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is that, like, I think sometimes pattern companies, they'll come out with something, and, it will be very difficult. And you see that, I'll tell you if this is an easy pattern or if this is a difficult pattern. But with this PDF like this, it's like, there's step-by-step instructions. So even though it's more of a difficult pattern, the instructions are there to help guide you, instead of being like, well, you just got to get better at sewing before you can sew this.
That's why I think most of Ellie and Mac patterns are confident beginner. Okay. Because you can, if you looked at the whole project as a beginner, you might be like, oh no, I could never do that.
Yeah.
But you take it step by step, and then we haven't even talked about the videos.
Yes.
Then you usually can complete it and have something nice.
Well, and that's the other piece of the pie, is the tutorials. And, that's where Diana comes in and Jessica comes in. And, that sewing along. And I've seen a lot of other pattern companies where the sew along, it's like, this is how you do this. But it's not for that project. It's just like a piece. And like, sometimes I've seen it where it's like, I'm making a dress, and they're like, this is how you do this on a child's swimming suit. And you're like, what?
That's not helpful.
That's not helpful.
Yeah.
It's not helpful at all. But with Ellie and Mac, each pattern gets their time to shine. It gets their own full step-by-step sew-along tutorial that you can watch, and like stop at those things, to really stop at those moments, so you can kind of go back and forth. And then not only that, but the patterns get hack videos on top of it. And that's primarily what I do, is like work in the hack videos. And recently, I just did a series where I took one pattern and I showed multiple ways of doing that one pattern to really fill out your closet. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you, like, it filled out my closet. I am ready for summer.
That's really neat, because not only do you get the pattern, but you kind of get like more than one pattern out of it. Because like I think you said it was 7 different variations of that, right? On this last one you did?
With the Jessica, yeah, I did 7 different tops.
And the other one, did you do another one too?
So yeah, so I did the paper bag skirt.
Yes.
And that one I think I did 5.
And those had some really neat hacks. Like I liked the one where you like fringed the jean bottom. It was denim.
Denim, yeah.
And
vintage denim.
And then didn't you do something like different with the paper bag top? I don't know, there was a whole bunch of really neat things in there.
That one was really fun and really well. And then actually this top, what is the name of this top?
Did you use the Felicity or the Sarah?
It was the Felicity.
Okay.
The Felicity, that one did really well, and I did different hacks on that. And because this type of sleeve is like really in right now, this type of sweater knit.
Yeah.
And it was great because I was able to use those like inexpensive sweater knits that I already had in my stash.
Yeah.
Sorry, that sounds like crazy screaming is like my bantam rooster.
Oh yeah, if you can hear it, it's the rooster. We're used to it.
Yeah. Every time I'm doing video,
I don't notice it anymore.
Sorry about the rooster. But thank goodness, because it starts going at 5 a.m.
If you're like, why does she know too? I live next door.
Yeah.
So I hear it too.
She hears her too. Like, right when like sometimes like goes over there to try to wake her up, like, get back in the back. Anyways, wow. So yeah, I did this top. I did the camouflage dresses. Those ones are my favorite.
Oh yeah, those turned out really pretty.
Stop wearing those.
Yeah.
Like,
So if you haven't seen those videos and you're interested, then go back and watch some of them because there's a whole bunch of really cool techniques in there too that you'll learn from Vanessa. So yeah,
and it was really fun. And like we just did them over and over again. Yeah, I did your Jessica, and that was a carry-on capsule.
Oh yeah.
And that is like definitely what I'm gonna need right now. And and there's solution videos, and so yeah. But now I'm like kind of getting ready to get into. I love doing hard fabrics, like. Every so often, like I just get that urge to go, okay, I want to show you how to work with this type of fabric. This type of fabric.
Some tulle.
I haven't done tulle yet.
That one I heard is really rough, and I haven't used it much.
So I've done tulle when I had like a little girl.
Yeah.
She's a big girl now. She doesn't wear tulle. So
like, what would you use it for?
Yeah, that's my question. So
I'm gonna make like some kind of head thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Tutu. Yeah, I haven't worked with tulle yet.
Yeah.
But I did the mesh, which is like it's kind of a grown-up tulle. I feel like you don't have a puff to it. It has more of a flowy thing to it.
Yeah.
And then I have some chiffon I'm gonna work with. I love working with chiffon because I feel like it's usually made out of polyester and it's really inexpensive and it's really beautiful.
That's nice.
And so I really like that. So what have you been up to?
Oh, well, I'm working on some shorts. Recently on the Ellie and Mac feed, we were talking about TNT patterns, which stands for tried and true.
Ooh.
Tried and true patterns. So patterns that you've made a bunch of times and you love them. And for me, one of the ones from Ellie and Mac is the Feel Pretty pants.
Yes.
And shorts.
I love those.
So that's what I'm making is the Feel Pretty shorts. And so there's a cut line on the Feel Pretty shorts that's pretty short. So I made them much longer this time because I wanted some longer shorts. And I hacked them to have some slack pockets. And I used this like cotton, I don't know what it's some kind of upholstery fabric. So I hope they're comfortable, but I'm excited about it.
I've been thinking a lot about shorts. I always say, like I am actually wearing shorts today. But like how to style them and how to feel comfortable in them. And I've been really thinking about it going, okay, how can I make them so I'm comfortable in them? And like, so this is I probably need to like do a video to explain my feelings about this. But so at night, I take allergy medicine, and I don't know, it gives me very vivid dreams. So my husband puts on physics shows to like get me calmed down and right to sleep. And I realized that there's a physics with shorts.
Okay.
And like so.
It's very theoretical.
It's very theoretical. So I like to hike a lot. I do yoga and stuff. And so like I have some like good defined thighs and I have a bottom. So what is happening is that my bottom is kind of pushing the shorts forward, but then my bottom is like trying to pull the shorts up and back.
Okay.
And so I'm kind of having this like war with the shorts. So like I need them longer. So then this force isn't at play because if they're too short, they're going to roll right up.
Yep.
And
especially if they're tight, then they want to come up.
Yeah, they'll come up because they're dealing with that thigh force and the booty force.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I guess it's physics.
Yeah, there's a physics there. There is a force there. So I'm like, okay, so I definitely need them longer. And so I'm like, because then, you alleviate that force by coming down on your knees a little thinner. And so I'm like, okay, so I'm going to try cutting up some of my pants into shorts that I'm not wearing anymore because skinny jeans are out.
Okay.
And giving those a fill. And then I absolutely want to tackle some more like the wide leg shorts, but I'm like, do I need to be adding pleats? Because will that take that front force away?
Or just make them a little bit like looser.
Yeah.
So you were talking about a while back doing like the golf style shorts.
Yes.
I feel like.
Yes.
And to me, in my head, I'm like pleats. Yes.
Yes.
And I don't know. And are they usually like cuffed on the bottom, like folded to the wrong way twice? And
yes.
Because I feel like that could be cute.
I feel like if they're cuffed, or even if you do like a band, like you fold the fabric over and you actually have a stitch line, maybe even some piping.
And I love a wide hem too, like inch and a half.
Yeah. But yeah, if you do that with like a little bit of piping and a band. And then I've been looking at if you angle them up. So from the inside of your thigh to just a little outside, just a little angle. So
you're saying on the inside it's lower?
The inside's lower than the outside.
Oh yeah, I've seen that in like jogger shorts.
Yeah, and what that gives you is like, when you wear a swimming suit and it cuts you off, like the shorts, and it cuts you off at your widest.
Yeah.
And then it makes your legs look short. But then if you actually have your swimming suit angling up towards your hip, your legs actually look longer.
Let's talk about swimming suits.
Oh, okay. Let's
wait. We're gonna come back to this. Okay, so the most recent swimsuit pattern that just came out.
Yes.
Diana was gone, so I did the tutorial for it, and it has an option to have ruching on the sides with a drawstring, and that's exactly what it does. Is you can pull up the sides and you can have that angle so that it's more flattering, and you can choose how high you want it, which I thought was really cute. And I wore that swimsuit. I went on a vacation last week. And I got compliments on it.
Oh, wow.
And I actually said, oh, thanks, I made it. I was brave enough.
Yes. I do say that a lot. I was like, I was super awkward about the other day because I was like at like a Target and I was like buying like mouthwash and I was like, the lady's like, where did you get that skirt at? And I'm like, I made it. Let me get my mouthwash. Like, it was just a weird thing. I was being awkward.
Did you say?
She's like, oh, I even like even more now. I'm like, thanks. It was awkward in the counter, but it was very sweet. It was just like, some things like, it's like, let me just pick up my mouthwash in private. I don't know what was weird, but I was very appreciative. Maybe that's not a big deal, but I'm just like, I'm like, does she think I don't know why.
She wasn't thinking about mouthwash.
Awkward.
You're so funny.
It was very awkward. Normally I'm not that awkward, but I'm just like shopping. I was just like in my own head, but it was, but that's so cool though that you got compliments on.
It's a really cute suit because it has a tankini and a drawstring,
and it has a peplum, so everyone will be comfortable in it.
Yes. Yeah. And I did the shortest length, and then I did the high waist ruched shorts, so that like you don't really see much. It's pretty modest.
Yeah.
But you can see like a little bit of the top of the shorts if I lift my arms, and I think it's really cute.
But the angle.
The angle is so cute.
Yes.
And what's cool too is if you don't want any of that part of your thigh showing, that has longer shorts option with no ruching. And it has shorty shorts, and it has low waist, and it has a bikini top too. I'm like,
my goodness.
Oh my goodness. It's called like it's the Julie mix and match. So you can mix and match all the pieces.
So you get like 5 different swimsuits with it, and you can actually get the 2 different fabrics, and you could really make.
And that's what I did. That's what I did. I had gotten I can't remember where, but I got a bundle of swimsuit fabrics that were coordinating, and I have been saving them for the perfect swimsuit. And I was like, this is it. I finally have the swimsuit. So.
Oh, that's so exciting. And like having the options, I can get the different options. And like normally I just go for like a one piece because I'm like, I know where my bottoms are.
Yeah.
But if you had a mix and match and you have multiple different bottoms, you can like put on and put off.
Plus, I did a different size for the top and bottom.
Yes.
Because that's always my problem in a store is I'm like, well, can I get this size and that? Oh, you can't usually.
Yes. That's like definitely the hardest one. And like sometimes, and you never know with the one pieces when they're gonna ride up. Like sometimes you're just like gonna be trying to get things where they need to be a lot more. And so having the ruched shorts, and I do have a couple pair of ruched shorts, they're really nice because they don't climb up.
They're really nice.
But you also get that angle that's a lot more, it just looks more flattering. And so there's just some things where I'm like, either I'm going to ignore the problem like I normally do every year, or I'm going about shorts. Or we're gonna try to like, or is this the year that I try to solve it?
Well, I think you can try to solve it this year because You've been making lots of great videos, and you can think about incorporating that, and then you guys can all see which
Let me know if you have that physics issue.
Do you have the physics?
Do you have the physics issue, or do I need to put on leggings and I can point it out? Also, yeah, and like this is the hard thing is like stepping away from skirts and dresses. Is there's like a universal flattering line, and it's right here.
Yeah,
and so many things with Ellie and Mac, their dresses, their tops, they all come in right here, and you feel so comfortable in the Ellie and Mac dress, and then having to take that dress off and put shorts on, it's like, oh man, like in the wintertime I can put sweaters on and I can put like other things and layer it up, and I feel like I got this styled.
Yeah,
but sometimes like I don't know. Do you struggle, or is this just me? I've been struggling with this for years and years and years.
Well, I don't really struggle too much with shorts, although I am trending as I get older to have my shorts be a little bit longer. And so that's started to change for me. And I still do the millennial tuck with to get that, what you're talking about, the sort of the waist definition, because both of us are pear shaped.
Yes.
So that helps me, or I like to just tuck my shirts in sometimes fully. Yeah. And I think that's really cute. And if you can get like a high waist short with it tucked in, you still get that definition. I think that's really cute. Yeah. I've been wearing the free curved hem tank.
Oh, that one's really cute.
Yeah. And so either I'll tuck that one in, or I do have some skinny jeans still that I wear occasionally. And I have that one. It's like a little floatier, and it has a curve on the hem. Yeah, that one. Have you made it?
I need to. I have not actually made that one. I've been making more tank tops this year than I've ever made, and so yeah, that one's one.
You should make it. But I just chopped off the curved part, and that's the length that what my shirt was, and I love that tank top. It's one of my favorites. So
and it's free.
Do that. And it's free.
So if you haven't tried Ellie and Mac patterns, get that one. Okay, I'll have you try that one, and then just go straight across. Yeah. That's cute.
It's really cute.
You know, that's the thing about like what's trending. There's like, this is what's trending, and there's no regard if it actually looks good on people.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and in eye of the beholder, right? Yeah. Like everybody has a different style of what they like and what they like to see. And I mean, sometimes I see what young people wear and what the youths wear, and I'm like,
we're that old.
I'm never wearing that.
Yeah. Or I go, oh, I remember when I did wear that. Like in that wash of regret, like kind of like comes over me. And I'm like kind of terrified to have that regret ever again. And so, yeah, for me.
But you care less now.
I don't know, because like, you know, my husband was like, he loves to like look at old pictures of the family and stuff. And like there was like way too many like the skinny jeans with the boots. Remember that?
I kind of like that still. I think it's cute.
The Uggy boots. Like the skinny jeans with the fat Uggy boots.
The super fat ones.
Yeah, with like the knit on top. I'm like, I felt like I was looking so cute. Like, I'm like, I was for sure I looked so cute.
You did.
But then I see pictures of it now. I'm like, I kind of regret those boots. Like, I don't know.
See, my regret is more like ages 15 to 21-ish, where I was like, maybe trying out different styles, but I sometimes felt very not confident, or I wasn't doing them right. And then I'm like, ooh. I don't have pictures of all that, thank goodness, but I remember some of it.
So, I have the funniest story about this. Okay, so I was in someone's house, I was like talking about stuff, with clothes and stuff, and I'm like, oh, you know, my teenager wears a lot of gray and black clothes. I'm like, you know the face. And she goes, I wasn't really rebellious. I'm like, it was more of a business casual face.
Well, when we were in high school, that actually was.
Yes, it was this business casual 20-year-old or 17-year-old, 18-year-old. And I remember wearing like the trousers and you know, the black stretchy like suits and stuff.
And like the cami with the thing with the lace or whatever. Okay, so I sometimes watch this. I can't remember.
I don't regret that though. I stand by the business casual.
That was fun.
We looked fancy.
I can't remember the name of the creator, but this girl does, like, she's about our age, and she does these reels, and she will go into stores and be like, she makes this face. I don't know if you've seen her. She always makes this like disgusted face, and she'll see like stuff in like Target or whatever that has like the exact same look as 20 years ago. And
Yes.
she's like, this is coming back. But she
No.
did one about the business casuals. Like, remember when we used to wear this and we'd wear it to work and we'd wear it to and then to clubs or like dates or whatever. Yeah, it was the thing.
I had like these like black business gauchos that I would wear like tights underneath and high heels on dates.
Yeah.
I'm like, what was I thinking? But you know what?
That was what was in style.
It was what, and it looks nicer than like, I don't know, like the sweatpants, like, like
the ridiculously large jeans, jorts with
the jorts.
Like, but weight and like 10 sizes too big.
Yeah. We've been there.
That's not my style.
We don't want to go there again. The jorts. The jorts have been really hard for me. Like, I'm like, by the time they're no longer in fashion, I'm going to be like okay with it, and then I'm going to be like, oh great, I got this pair, I'm never going to wear them. So I'm going to hold off on the jorts, and I'm just going to cut up some of my skinny jeans a little longer, and we're just going to call it good.
I think it could be really cute.
And then we're going to make some sets, and I think it'll be okay. We just need in the comments, comment about how you feel about shorts, and we'll move on. I think we could talk about this for like
a long time.
I could talk.
I just had another thought about some pink capris I've had for 20 years that I still sometimes pull out because sometimes they're in style and sometimes they aren't.
You have to have one pair of color jeans.
Yeah.
At least.
I have 2 or 3.
Yeah, you never know. And the style cycle's so fast. And like I don't even know what to do with it anymore. Like it's just but so what I've decided is I'm going to do things that look flattering on my body.
Yeah. Like I think that's the deal.
I'm gonna be like Mary Tyler Moore. Like, like in the 70s there was all this crazy stuff going on. But in Mary Tyler Moore, she always looks classy.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep it classy and not go too crazy into the trends that's gonna like fuel that regret, 10 years. So,
or maybe you should just live it up and do every trend available because you can sell it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna regret all this.
The ones you like.
Maybe I'm gonna regret all this Regency stuff I've been doing. What was I doing? Was I frolicking through the field when I was 40? I don't know what's going on. How many romance novels did I read? A lot. All right. So what else are some things that are coming? Because we did promise to sneak peek.
Oh, the sneak peeks are here.
So when is your bag coming out?
Monday.
Okay, so we might not be sneak peeking this, but we'll definitely show you what this bag looks like and tell us a little bit more about what this bag is for.
Okay. This bag is an oversized trapeze bag. Trapeze meaning the sides like stick out on purpose. So it's basically like a big tote bag, but there's snaps on the side and it's like that. So anyway, it's got a water bottle pocket or 2 if you make the really big one. There's 2 sizes. There's a medium and there's a large. There is no small because we want you to know that this is a very large bag. And it's the one that you want to take like to work to carry all your things or to the pool or on vacation, a weekender bag. It's perfect for that. One of the testers, I thought this was so cute. She has a daughter, I don't know, maybe 11 or 12. She made a bag for all of her friends. So there's like, and they might end up in, they were like turned around in the picture. It might end up on the website, I'm not sure, but it was like 5 of these bags with these cute like pink and purple vinyl. Anyway.
That's so cute.
It was adorable. But I think you're going to love the bag. I really like mine. It's super cute. It has a zipper on top. And
that sounds like a good gift, too. Yeah. So not only getting it for yourself, but as a gift. And I would love to have 2 drink pockets because, like, sometimes, like, you leave early. And I'm like, this is, like, my tea and collagen. I know that sounds terrible, but that's what I drink every morning. And then this is, like, my colder water drink. Yeah. It's always water. I don't know why I think it's going to surprise you with something else.
And you can make the water bottle sling that we have. That's another pattern too. Yeah. And then you could even have more. But anyway, the bag's really cute. I think you're gonna like it. So come back on Monday. Or actually,
it'll come out on this Monday, and we might see you in a weekend, so you'll already see it.
So if you haven't seen the pattern, you can go back and find it. There you go.
There we go. We got it figured out today.
Yeah, love it.
And then, are there any other test patterns that are going to be coming into, coming out soon that you can think of?
So there are a couple in testing, but I don't think any are far enough along to like give a date for yet.
Yeah. This summer has gotten so busy for all of Ellie and Mac workers. We are just kind of here, there, and everywhere. And I think by the time July comes, we're going to be a little bit more focused in, and then definitely by August. But I think everyone's like so busy this summer, and so but we'll keep being here, showing you fun hacks and missing Diana with you.
Yes.
And we really appreciate you guys here, and so and I thank you again for our testers, and we just wish you happy sewing. We'll catch you next time.